a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us about 20 miles south of downtown L.A. at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and our home team. From up top, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the 8-year NFL veteran, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Hey, switch gears.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third-year back from Florida State. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Melvin Ingram make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And a tough turn. Over there as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, first and goal.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
And he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs.
Under pressure, they got him again. Melvin Ingram in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On third down, Cousins. And a pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Joey Bosa was sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2. to his total.
So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Travis Benjamin deep for the Chargers. Fielded at the 33. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, Rivers. Open man, it's Allen. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the 1st down in the process. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers, and you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations, so he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
Wait!
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
180! Let him know. Let him know. Mike 54! Mike 54! Check right. 54. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
3rd and goal for Rivers. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his first touchdown on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover.
Josh Dotson. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5. A big play there for Minnesota. 77 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout.
Let's go.
And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to one remaining. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll run with Cook. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
You got it. You got it.
No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over... For 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
The Charger drive about to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident...
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Round 80. Round 80. Cut. 36.
On second down now. It's Gordon dancing away at the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Gordon, a Pro Bowler for the second time last season, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns, and that was only in 12 games played a season ago. And he also switched jersey numbers in the offseason from 28 to 25, and 25, that's the number he wore when he was dominating the Big Ten college gridiron for the Badgers of Wisconsin. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I'm going to go load it. Load it.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it 2nd and 7.
Hey, pick your game up.
From the 39, Rivers. for Keenan Allen. That's complete. 27 yards there, a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Rivers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Delayed game, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, and then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. To throw, Cousins. Joey Bosa in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And, look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James, a sack from his safety position.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. That one goes for 30 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 20 on the year. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And this is, unfortunately for him, a montage he's probably not going to want to keep here for his files.
And I'm not so sure that he would describe it as a spotlight, although it is beating down on him pretty well, as is the rush. He's been hit, harassed, uncomfortable. It's been a really, really tough day for him.
Been sacked 6 times. See all that pressure coming from all angles. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punch from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
57 to Mike.
Now Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
180! 57 to Mike. Check the out, check the out, check the out. Kill.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Throwing on 2nd down, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 16 yards, a first down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Joey Bosa. Make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. To try again after the sack. Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again. Joey Bosa, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Cousins now. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Charger drive about to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. One more game still to get to in Week 15. It comes up tomorrow night, Monday Night Football. A lot of Manning fingerprints on this one, the Colts and the Saints from New Orleans. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Gordon. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Rivers. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Gordon on 1st down. Gordon loses the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Chargers were best in the NFL, 7 of 8 on 4th down last year, and they're going here. The fullback wide, and he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Well, they needed a yard on fourth down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get it.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
390.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to make it 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
I can't wait to see what the
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Melvin Ingram has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Off the play fake, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 84 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
So what did you say earlier, my man? You said one big play away from getting back in this game. And guess what? There it was.
Yeah, we talked about it, that despite the scoreline, they were that close on the road, and boom, there you go.
Well done, Nostradamus.
Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays, the long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this.
Rivers. Got his man, it's Williams. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Gordon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now a 20th carry, number 20 here for Melvin Gordon. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They run on first down with Jackson. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Clean 80. Hey, Brown 80. 55 to Mike. Watch a slap. Watch a slap.
Rivers now. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Stephen Weatherly able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just one fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. On play action, Cousins. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. He's got his man. This is Daxon. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Cousins to throw it. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline. Oh, no, he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Rivers now after the fumble recovery. And that'll be incomplete. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. Throwing, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. It's hauled in by Daxon. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it. Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 1st down. Here's Cousins. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Thomas Davis, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Only a yard on the 3rd down throw, and that leads to a 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On 4th, they'll go again and try it once more. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. They go play action here on 1st down. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Cousins, and he's going to go down again. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. A disappointing drop there on 4th and goal. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Room here to run. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the home team here, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag. Big numbers, whole team Count it,
Yeah. Hey, foreign cars, foreign.